Now, I warn you, this video has very incredibly, insanely crispy, clean, serious, and very strong opinions about politics. So, if you don't like politics, I would recommend you to view... I don't have the editing skills to... Whoa! The video here! Now, I would recommend you to view another video of mine instead, which, if you don't like politics like me, I also don't like politics. That's why I'm making this video in the first place, because I want to not talk about politics ever. It just makes me angry because I realize every time how fucked up my country is. But like, I would recommend you to watch my really bad cover of Fade to Black, which I literally uploaded 5 hours ago. I recommend you to watch that instead of this if you don't like politics. Now, without further ado, and without looking at my appearances, I would like to go on a bit of history with my country, Sweden's current leader, and the history of this so-called party, party. You know, parties like alt-right, alt-left and stuff. But we have the socialism. We have socialists as leaders. Now, the thing is, there's a difference between socialism and communism. Let's just keep that in mind. Because Sweden is socialism, not communism. If anything is communism, that's like Russia back in 1940s. That's communism. Stalin, not Sweden. So, I'm not supporting either, because I don't like socialism, I don't like communism, and I don't like liberalism. I like in between. I like an even amount of both, because there are some parts of socialism that make sense and some that doesn't, and there's some part about liberalism that makes sense and there's some that doesn't. Now, back in our... why am I facing this way? I don't know. Back in, like, the 1930s, the Germans started thinking, we want things. We want things from countries that are close to us. And the Nazi Germans started expanding themselves, and by doing this, they obviously, since Sweden is always gonna be a passive-aggressive country, what I mean by that is that we are not really aggressive, but we are very passive, in fact. That's what I mean with passive-aggressive. It's like we do have opinions about war, and we do have military, but we don't use them. Why? Because we don't have wars in Sweden, which is the only thing that's good, but I'm not gonna get into that. That would be another video, why I think there's no wars in Sweden. Now, in these eras, 1930s, the Germans was allowed by this so-called socialist party to go through Sweden and receive like the salvage and items that could benefit them in the war. Now, Sweden accepting this and not fighting against the Nazis has actually expanded World War II with months, a couple months at least. And let's just think, this could either be good or bad. The thing is, the other side, the good side, is that we've learned so much from this war that if there ever were to occur another world war, we would know how to handle it much better than before. Now, the negative thing is obviously people dying and people starving to death, and the amount of poor people increasing a lot is obviously negative things about World War II that was sad. I mean, I'm not saying that it was good at all that we had a World War II, but we learned a lot which benefited us if we have another world war, which means that we know more, we know better now on how to handle wars than we did yesterday. I mean, not yesterday, but I mean in the 1930s. That back then we were like, when the Nazis came on in our country, instead of defending ourselves, we were like, we're scared of them, we're gonna let them go through the country, and we're gonna help them. But that only made us destroy the world even more. That's why these bombs and stuff, they continue and happen, and that's why the war increased by a couple months. Now, let's not forget the fact that we in Sweden had concentration camps for anti-Nazis and Jews, which was the most affected people by this. Now, this is more of a history lesson right now, but later on I'm gonna go into why I don't think our leader is qualified for the job. Now, let's keep on the... Now, the reason why I think this is so bad because now I'm gonna get into why this party that's leading our country has destroyed our country and is currently destroying it slowly, bit by bit. The thing is, the reasons the things in Sweden has happened recently, the leaked passwords, the terrorist attacks, both of those our leader was warned about. Other parties has warned him about this. Instead, in both cases, 2 times, he instead listened to his own little ignorant brain and took this as a ignorant hoax, and he thought, oh, I want money. He doesn't want to spend money on defending our country when he gets obvious evidence that this will happen if he doesn't do this. Instead of doing this, that costs money for him, he does this, that doesn't cost money, but will de-benefit him. Now, de-benefit isn't really... That won't benefit him in the long run, because in the short run, this would benefit him in a financial standpoint. But this would benefit the whole country. I feel like our leader focuses more on his own safety than his country's safety at all. He thinks more about his own financial substance than the country itself. He's just like, as long as I'm safe and my family's safe. Which, okay, I understand that you want to be safe in your country and family, but if you did this, your family would be even more safe than they are now. And why did you not do this? Because you're an ignorant asshole who doesn't listen to opinions that sometimes can be facts. Because opinions doesn't always have to be opinions. These warnings were facts. When the accounts started being leaked, he was warned. Didn't do anything to stop it. when the terrorists were planning to do a terrorist attack in Stockholm, what did he do? Absolutely shitless nothing. He was warned. Did he listen? No. If I was him, I would listen to these warnings and take into consideration to ensure that, and that means increasing security and more security value, because that means actually checking. Now, this might be hard to do, but last time I knew, if you check what kind of person you take into your country, it will benefit you in the long run. Now, the reason being, even if the terrorists, let's say he took in consideration and did this, and he proved the security, and started, analyzing and seeing, and made the traveling toll thing when you had to get into the country, made it stricter, so that each and every one person would have to go through a certain survey with a lie detector to determine if they're in a terrorist organization or not. Now, I'm not saying just Islamic people. I'm saying all people. Every single fucking one of the persons that comes into a country should be investigated, just to see, even if they traveled outside the country, just to go to vacation. Now, this justification, even I'm fine with a system like this, as long as they're not abusive. Because a lie detector, if it's real, obviously, if you're not lying, you're not gonna get caught, and you're not gonna be determined a terrorist and sent back. Now, some people might say, but this isn't practical and this would take so much time, but time equals value and money. Time is the reason we have technology today like this. It didn't take 1 day, didn't take 2 days, it took years for us to advance in technology. And this goes for exactly everything in the world. Even the research on cancer and recreating organs that are functioning is still in search. This is still in research. Why? Because we haven't fucking figured out yet how to completely make cancer extinct, and how to make new organs that are fully working, which we have started to get a little bit, but not good enough. This is why I hate our society that we live in, Sweden. I have started hating. I had faith in this man, this disgusting pig that promotes himself and cries after a terrorist attack when he was obviously warned. He was warned about terrorist attacks. He was warned about the leaked passwords, and he goes, "Boo-hoo, I'm so sorry. I couldn't have done anything about this, but I'm so sorry." You could. You could have at least fucking tried. Instead of sitting there like, "Oh yeah, we gotta fucking do this shit. Oh, no, sign. What's this? What is this? Sign the paper, okay. What does this say? I'm sorry, but that's literally what our leader is like. He's like, and if he's, and sometimes, if he sees prevent and terrorism, he's like, actually, let's demonstrate this in a better way. If he sees one of those papers, what he's gonna do is this. He's like, who the fuck cares about this shit? Motherfucker. And that's just to prove my point that if there's a warning, let's say that was the warning. That's what he would do with the warning. He's just like, no warnings here. Our country's fine. Nothing to worry about. Why would we have to worry about? Oh, what a bummer. There was a terrorist attack in Stockholm. A young child, innocent child died, and a woman, and a dog. Oh, people died. Oh no, couldn't done anything even though I got this warning. Oh no, shit. Oh shit. Passwords leaked. Oh no. Oh, I couldn't have done anything. What a fucking bummer. Oh no, fuck man. Bummer. Oh no. Oh, bummer. Oh, bummer. Oh. But money! Oh yes! Money! Money! I love it. That's literally our president, our leader, prime minister. I'm sorry for kind of joking around about my leader, but that's, if there was an example that would exaggerate him in an accurate way, that's the one. That's the most accurate over-exaggeration I've ever seen. Why? Because that was an over-exaggeration of how he deals with it. Except the only over-exaggeration were the actions he did. But because normally he's just like, yeah, I don't think that, no. Now, next one. That's basically how he actually reacts. But if you over-exaggerate what he acts like and takes what is actually happening in here on our smart and good leader, well, shit, he fucked over his country. But sure thing, he couldn't do anything about it except he could. Facepalm. I can't see why. Why would you do that? I know that I'm not very serious in my tone, but I can't be serious when a man leading our country isn't fucking serious. And this is me being actually pissed. I'm like, why? If you see me scream and shit, that's just me being irritated. This is me being pissed. Like if I go on for something for more than 20 minutes, that means I'm pissed. That's when I'm actually pissed. If I'm going around, I'm not gonna punch you in the face, that's just me being irritated. I work in a different way. I'm very retarded in that way of mindset. Because when I'm actually angry, I start talking about what I think is bullshit. And even though I hate politics, I believe that we deserve at least a leader that can fucking handle his own fucking job. Is that too much to ask for? Sir, is that too much to ask for? Apparently it is. But it's fucking retarded. It's such a corrupt system we have. It's the worst leader ever in Sweden. He's even worse than Fredrik Reinfeldt. And I despised Fredrik Reinfeldt before this. I still don't think he was a great leader, but were there any terrorist attacks when he was the leader? No. There was none. Terrorist attacks were a myth in Sweden. Exactly the only terrorist attacks that has happened ever in the history of Sweden by actual terrorist organizations have been after our new leader. Thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate your